Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. And welcome to my camera freezing up on me again. Hold on. There we go. As I was saying before the camera decided it was going to act up on me today, we're headed up to Santa's Village for a playthrough of Final Girl by Ryder Games. This one is your classic slasher horror game, similar to Hostage Negotiator that I played earlier this month. But this one's going to be unique in that we're actually headed up to Santa's Village, like I said. We are taking on Krampus, the Horned Devil. He starts off at a horror rating of 4. He's got his 10 health, and we do need to reveal our items. It might be a little bit hard to see the map that we've got going on up here, but we've got 3 elves in the village center. We've got the stables. Santa's house has 1. The runway, Santa's workshop. And a special rule for the meeples in this, for the victims. The victims are actually elves, so we suffer a one-time penalty when we move into a space with an elf. So, very irritating. But let's reveal our items. So first up at the stables we have a whistle. Elves have powerful ears. Spend a time to use the whistle once per action phase. When used, all enemies and victims will move 1 space toward you. At Santa's workshop, we've got a BB gun. We might want this. Maybe I can shoot its eyes out. 1 to 2 damage, 2 hands. The BB gun may only modify the weak attack action card. When you damage the killer with the BB gun, retreat horror by 1. And the workshop hammer. No dice, takes a damage, and does a damage and takes 1 hand. You only lose 1 time when entering a space with victims, no matter how many are in the space. So wait a minute, you lose 1 time per victim there? Oh, that's gross. So they're all yammering in your ear. Joy. Okay, so with that being said, let's jump in. Well, what do we want to start with here? I think our first order of business, we are going to lose a time, but I do want to try to focus right away. Okay, think. I know what I have to do. It's scary, but I have to get over that and focus on my next move. We want 2 successes so we can retreat horror by 1 and gain 2 time. 1 success we can work with to retreat horror but lose a time. Fail, we lose 2 time. So we'll start off, we'll get our 2 dice, and we'll give this a roll. And we could discard 2 cards to get a success out of that. I think I will discard a weak attack and a short rest to get 1 success out of that. That'll let me retreat horror, but it will cost me a time. Then, let's see, where do I want to walk? That's Santa's house, which Santa's house is actually not that far from us. So, yeah, I saw you playing season ticket football, Cardboard Commander. It looked like a great game between the Jaguars and the Jets. So we are going to play another focus out. Once again, trying to reduce the horror rating. Gross. Do I want the... Let's see. If I want to move into Santa's house to get the workshop hammer, I am going to lose a time, so I need to factor that in. And I'm going to need a search, too. So let's go with no. So I'll lose 2 time. Then, you know what? I'm just going to keep everything else in. Oh, I forgot to flip over a card for the first event. Hang on. So we're actually going to back all of that up. The event might change things here. So our first event Busy, busy. We have to do this, we have to do that. So we draw 2 more events and discard this card. I'm going to put my event discard up here. So our first card, Christmas Eve. We have to load Santa's sleigh. During upkeep, and roll a die and remove the top item card from the game at the following space. 1 to 2, Santa's house. 3 to 4, Santa's workshop. 5 to 6, the stables. Great. And coming in for a landing, off Dasher, off Dancer, off Prancer. Place 2 new victims at the runway and 2 new victims at the stables. Then, if Santa is in play, place him at the runway. He is not in play, so we get 2 more victims at the runway and 2 more at the stables. 2 more at the runway. And 2 more at the stables. They don't want to stand up for me. So 2 at the runway. 2 over here at the other side of the board at the stables. Okay. We'll reset his horror rating to 4. And we're back to it. Let's go with... Let's try the focus again. Okay, that I can work with a lot better. So that'll retreat horror by 1, give me 2 time. Let's go for another focus. This way I might be able to retreat horror by 1 and actually roll 3 dice on these skill tests. I can bin 2 cards for a success, which I'll do just like before. I'll bin the weak attack and the short rest. That'll let me retreat horror, but it will cost me a time. Then I'm going to walk 1 foot in front of the other. Nice and easy, nice and slow. There is a bloodthirsty killer after me, but that's no reason to panic, right? Okay, there's 1 success. That's all I need here. So I'm going to move up to 1 space, which will cost me 1 time, but an extra time because there's an elf there. And then that'll do it for the turn. So I've got 5 time. I moved in here because I wanted to get the workshop hammer. So I'm going to grab at least 1 search. Let's see, I want the search. And I'll take an improvise as well. That'll cost me all 5 of my time. So that was the planning phase. Now we're into the killer phase. The killer is looking to target whoever he can. Attack, but there's nobody in his space. So he's looking for whoever's closest. He'll move to them, and then he'll put a present down. So I should show off... Actually, I should show off our final girl. We're playing as Cindy. 4 meeples that we can save to move an extra space. Krampus, actually, here's Cindy's mini so you can see what she looks like. Here's Krampus. I don't bother painting my minis because my artistic talent never got that far past stick figures. Anyway, we got our first terror card of the game. So our first terror card. The claws are out. Looking for somebody moving and attacking, so he will off an elf. And then he will be looking for me, moving toward me and attacking. So he'll move over here. And that'll bring us into the panic phase. Fortunately, if a victim was killed this turn, panic all victims in the killer's space. Fortunately, there's nobody in the killer's space to panic. Upkeep phase, this is where we got to roll and hope to God, this is where we got to roll for Christmas Eve and hope we don't get a 1 or a 2. Ah, that's a 1, and I wanted that workshop hammer too. Nuts. So I don't think we flip it over. I don't think we flip the next item over until we need to draw from it. Nuts! I wanted that workshop hammer too. Stupid elves. Almost makes me not want to save them between them being annoying and now losing me the hammer that I needed. Searching for items. Okay, the next card should not be revealed. That's what I thought. Alright, so that was upkeep phase. Now we're into the action phase. First order of business is going to be the improvise. 2 successes until the end of this action phase. 3s and 4s are successes. For the next horror roll, only 3s and 4s are successes. No successes. Advance horror by 1 and lose a time. We are back to 6, by the way. It's time to improvise, to go off script. They'll never see it coming. Let's hope not. We do get 2 dice. There's 1 success, which for the next horror roll, only all 3s and 4s are successes, which I don't mind. So we are going to search. 2 successes, I take the top 2 item cards in my space and choose 1. Place the other on top face up or underneath face down. 1 success, take the top card at your space, lose a time. All of these are going to lose a time. No successes, take the top item card at your space, advance horror by 2 and lose 2 time. Or just advance horror by 1 and lose 2 time. There's got to be something useful in here. A weapon or something that can help me survive. Why is this happening to me? I could jump into singing How Could This Happen to Me, but I don't want my video to get copyright struck. Anyway, 3s and 4s are successes for this horror roll. Which that is a 4, so we get the top item of our space. Our item here is Comet. Oh, for crying out loud. Are you as fast as you say? Place Comet in your space. Comet can move with you. Once each action phase while with Comet, you and Comet may move directly to the runway. Victims can't follow you when using this effect. Delightful. So we get Comet, which is probably good. No, actually I was going to say Comet is a token, but no, he's actually a mini. There's Comet. Let's go for... So that actually lost me a time as well. Okay, last we're going to go for another walk. We're back to normal where 5s and 6s only count as successes. We'd have to bin 2 cards. I'm not going to do that. But I think that is going to be the end of the phase. So, we'll move all of these back. Search, improvise. All of these come back. The unwalk stays. What do I want here? I'm going to grab a couple of close calls. A search. And I think that is going to be it. So that's in the planning phase. Now we're in the killer phase. We got a new terror card. Oh, great. Minor powered North Pole magic. When targeting, place Krampus directly in his target's space. Yuck. We need 3 health to get rid of that. We didn't resolve his action. There's nobody there to attack. Oh, and I forgot to place a present. That presents are a special thing here. So roll a die and place a random unrevealed token in or adjacent to Krampus's space according to the number rolled and the panicked numbers in Krampus's space. So we should have placed one here last turn. That'll be a 3. I've got the draw cup for those. So a 3 is going to put a present over here. Making sure I bring that out flat. Wait. Oh. I gotta bring them out flat side up. There we are. Okay, now back to his turn. Nobody in his space to attack, so he's looking for us. Actually, he's looking for either us or a victim. I think while there are victims out, he chooses them as... I think while there are victims still out, he chooses the victim as a tiebreaker, I think. Choose the group that is the most... There's a tie between who's closest. Choose the group that has the most victims remaining. So he's actually moving in here and then placing another present. Yikes. Bringing that out flat so that present goes here. He didn't kill anybody, so no panic roll. And we're back to it. Getting over to the runway. Let's see here. Losing that hammer really set me back. So, yeah, let's try another search. See if we can get something out of this location. Gross. I'm actually going to use a close call to re-roll all my dice for 2 time. We need to find something. Whew, that was close. Good thing I averted that disaster. Or did I? Let's see if we did or not. That's 1 success, and I can discard 2 cards for a second, which I will. Been the short rest and the week, so I can take a look at both of these cards. First card up is Misfit Toys. The toys, they're attacking. Place a Misfit toy in each exit space. During upkeep, move each Misfit toy 1 space closer to the killer. When a Misfit toy shares the same space as an enemy, discard the token and deal a damage to that enemy. The other choice we have is a Slingshot. Range of 1 damage. We get 2 ammo on that. I guess no kids wished for a bazooka. Both hands, Slingshot may only modify the weak attack card. We need attacks badly, so I'm going to grab the Slingshot. But that will take both hands. We'll leave the Misfit toys on top there. Truthfully, well, I don't mind losing that, but I will get 2 ammo out for the Slingshot. Assuming the ammo tokens want to stay there. I just threw the weak attack away, though. So we're not doing anything with that this turn. Let's try a focus. One success. I will take that, so that'll let me roll 3 dice, but it will cost me a horror rating. Then we're going to try to go for a walk. We get 3 dice now because the horror rating is down here. Ugh, no successes. So I could move up to 1 space, lose a health, but that would cost me 2 time. Actually, Comet can move with you once per each action phase while with Comet. Actually, I forgot I had Comet, so yeah, I'm just going to bite the bullet there. We'll lose 2 time. Then Comet and I are going to move directly to the runway. But that is going to... The victims don't move with me. I do lose the last of my time, though. Actually, I lose... What does the X do? I believe if the time would move down below that, the action phase just ends. Yep, action phase immediately ends. Okay, so we have no time left, which means we're not buying anything this round. We're not getting our 0 cost back either because we used most of those. Right. So we resolve the attack. So he actually does kill somebody, which increases the horror rating by 2. That's unfortunate. Then he's looking for either us or the victims. So he's going to move over here and drop a present. Bring it out. Up. Trying to bring it out flat side. There we go. Then we got to see where it's going. It's going into space. It's going toward space 3, back toward the village center. As soon as the victim's there, do they immediately open it? Yep. So open a present. Flip the present token to reveal the effect. So we're going to reveal this present. We gain 2 time, which is not really that helpful here, since that already came out. And then, whenever a victim is present in the same space, the victim opens it. Discard a Santa's present card with no effect. Okay, so yeah, two times for us, but that's not going to matter because they're opening it now. They're opening it during the killer phase. So we'll draw a new terror card. Here we will find the elves are fighting back. If no normal yellow victims are in or adjacent to an enemy's space, and we do have a few. Okay. So we are there. All normal victims adjacent to an enemy move to the enemy's space. So actually, all normal victims adjacent to an enemy move to the space. Ooh. So we've actually got 6 elves that are adjacent. So we're going to move all 6 into the space. Wow, this could actually be very good or very bad. So we're going to roll a die for each normal victim in an enemy's space and do the following. On a 1 to 2, the victim's killed. 3 to 4, no effect. 5 to 6, do a damage to the killer. So we're going to basically work from left to right. We want to see 5s and 6s, so that elf is killed, which will advance Bloodlust. Next elf is also killed. Oop. Which also unlocks the Dark Power. So the Dark Power we have here. Tantalizing Gifts. When you're in a space with a present, you must immediately open it, even if partway through your movement. You may continue your movement after applying the effects. Great. Let's see. Next victim. Come on, can we roll something other than a 1 or a 2 on these dice? There's a 6, so we actually will do a damage to Krampus, which will just work on his North Pole magic. Not that I mind that. Actually, I forgot about that. We placed the target directly in his space, but since he was targeting the victims, he goes straight there. That's a 3. Nothing happens for that victim. We'll put them over there since they're done. Next victim. 4 also does nothing. And our last victim will do another damage to Krampus. So they can potentially help us get rid of that North Pole magic. But we will. So that was our terror card. In response to that, he's not very happy. So he's going to take another one of them out, which will advance horror by 1. Things are not going well here. I think the elves so far are doing more work than we are. Okay. Now we have to panic. We've got 3 victims here to panic. So we'll panic them one at a time. Let's see, the first one, number 5, is moving back to the village center. Actually, they were... Where did that gift get... Actually, I think this gift was placed... I think this gift was here for a little while, so let's reveal it. That deals us a wound. Actually, does it do us a... Increased bloodlust by 1 is what that does. All right, so we are up there. We're actually near the top of his bloodlust track already. That's not good. Next victim is panicking in direction of 4, also back to the village center. Wait a minute. I think there's a misprint on this board. Because in this group, there's no space for 1 to panic. So I'm actually going to say 1 is going to panic over here, since that's the only number. Actually, let's see, 2, 1 to 3. Okay, I'm a little bit confused on how Santa's Village is working, but... Alright, that's a 4, so this last victim's also panicking into the village center. Now we've got to roll for upkeep, see what location we're removing an item from. That is a 3, so we're moving from Santa's workshop, which is going to lose us the BB gun. Joy, joy. This is probably going to be a short action phase as well. This one actually might be a short game, the rate things are going here. Let's try to focus, see if we can work on getting the horror rating down. We'll use the close call to see if we can. Well, that'll cost us 2 time, but we're not doing anything else this turn. Other than watching things go nuts. Alright, 2 successes. So that will decrease the horror rating by 1, give us 2 time, but that's it for the turn. So we get all of our 0 costs back. Let's see, with 6 time... what do we want here? I think for 6 time, we are at the... Actually, we should have been at the runway, not the stables. Where is the runway? Actually, runway's down here. So I moved to the wrong place. 6 time. I think we want to sprint, so I can try... Actually, yeah, we want to sprint. Actually, I'm going to get both sprints, and I'm going to take a close call, because I want to try to get these... I want to try to get as many of these victims out as I can. I can take up to how many with me? I think it's up to 2 I can take with me when I move. Let's see, movement, I can take up to 2 victims with me. Okay. So yeah, we're going to try to get some of these elves out. Alright, so that brings us to another killer phase. He's going to move up here, attack, knocking out another victim, which will increase the bloodlust again. Then he's looking for us. Actually, he's looking for another group, so he's going to move directly over here and then put another present down. Actually, let's roll for where it's going first. That's a 1, so that present is going... That present is going 1, 2... Wait. Something's not right here. Hold on. 6, 2... Apparently there's nowhere to put a present down here? That doesn't make sense. There's no 1 on here, so I don't think we put a present down. Getting a little confused looking at the map. Anywho, we'll draw a terror card. Down through the chimney. If there are no victims in any item spaces, discard and draw the next terror card. Otherwise, place Krampus in the item space with the most victims. Targeting victims kills 2 of them. So he'll attack twice. He'll take 2 of them out, which will discard the next 2 terror cards. We'll discard those face down. Then we've got a lot of problems here. We're panicking our last victim in that space. He's panicking 5. He will not... Actually, Oh, I think I've been doing it wrong. So he's actually going to panic over here. I've been doing it based on the... I think I've been doing it based on the space by the outgoing. We've still got to roll for upkeep to see where we're losing items from. 1 says we're losing an item from Santa's house, so we're losing the Misfit toys, which really weren't doing much for us anyway. So 0 cost and a close call. Let's see about a sprint, trying to get us moving here. 2 successes, move up to 3 spaces and lose a time. 1 success, move up to 2 spaces, still lose a time. No successes, either move up to a space, lose a health, 2 time, and the action phase immediately ends, or lose a health and 2 time. Run! Where? Anywhere. 2 dice for that. Actually, I might... Nope. Alright, so I can... I'm actually going to re-roll everything there for 2 time. I really don't want to start binning my hand. That's better. We get 2 successes. So Comet can move with me, but I'm going to use the normal move. I'm going to bring both of them out. That'll let me move 2 more spaces. So let's move 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to try to focus. See if we can retreat horror by 1 and gain 2 time. Ugh, nothing out of that, so we lose 2 more time. Then we are going to... Great. Let's see, where would we want to walk to right now? Well, let's walk anyway, see if we can do anything with that. Okay, that's 1 success, so I could move a space. That's going to cost me a time, which I think will have to be into the space with the elf. So we're down to no time left. We're losing a time because the normal victims in this scenario are elves, as a reminder. We could attack Krampus with the slingshot if I want to try that. Because I could modify the weak attack with it, and that would actually get rid of North Pole magic. Sure, let's try it. This is never going to work. This is never going to work. Don't think like that, Cindy. We have to hope for something, right? There's 1 success. So I could discard 2 cards if I want to make it another success, which I would deal a damage and a health. That would get rid of North Pole magic, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get rid of. Let's see. So we could potentially get an elf out if I keep a... The question is, can I afford to trade attacks with him right now? And I think the answer to that is probably no. So I think we're going to discard the sprint and the short rest to do a damage to Krampus. Then we're going to try to walk. All right, we get a success out of that, so we'll take the victim with us, save him, which will let us move a space, so we'll move back up here. And then that is it. Actually, the ammo on the slingshot should be gone. We have 1 ammo left on the slingshot. That's it for the action phase. We have no time, but we do get our... Actually, we get a focus back, and that's it. Excuse me. Sprint, close call. Those are all of our other 0-cost cards. Okay, so actually... Oh, no. I almost forgot. We do still have a health on Krampus, but we did get rid of his North Pole magic. I am always terrible about remembering that on these cards. So, now we're looking... Uh-oh. So he's actually moving to us, and he does 4 damage? Gross. So he can target us, so it is 4 damage. That was a very terrible idea. Yeah. So now we draw a terror card. Minor Dark Power, Demonic Will. If you're damaged by Krampus while this is in play, you lose all remaining health. Oh dear. Yikes. That's problematic. He didn't kill anybody, so no panicking. But upkeep, we need to see if we lose an item. 5 is taking an item from the stables, so we lose the whistle. Okay, so now we're back to us. Now we're going to focus. Focus, Cindy-san. Yes, I know that was my horrible Karate Kid reference. Unfortunately, I've got nothing in hand right now, so we lose 2 time. That'll do it for the action phase, though. So we get all of our zeros back. And I need to make sure... Let's see, I need to make sure I don't get... Actually, we had one more die. Okay, that's not nothing. So we do retreat horror by 1, but we still lose a time. I had it because I'm on my last health die up here. Right. So... Let's see, I'm going to take a... Let's take 2 guards and a close call. Because I'm about to get attacked here. So he's going to attack. I'm going to try to guard the attack. So I get 3 dice on this because, again, I'm on my last health. I can... even discarding 2 dice isn't going to... Well, even discarding 2 dice isn't going to help me, so I'm going to... So I'm still losing my health, but let's see if we're really dead or not. We are really dead. So that'll do it for this playthrough of Final Girl. Krampus has managed to ruin at least our Christmas. But, yeah, definitely enjoyed this game. Some of these modules can be a little bit on the confusing side. I think this one made me scratch my head a little bit. But, all in all, I do enjoy Final Girl as a game. This was a nice thematic module for this time of year, though. Even if it ended in disaster for us. So we'll definitely see more of this game on the channel. Probably not this month, but I did definitely want to make sure I got a game against Krampus in at least one of these. I do have a Touch of Evil as well, which has Krampus, but I'm still learning a Touch of Evil, so figured I'd pull this one out for a little bit of an easier time with it. But I'm rambling at this point, so we'll wrap this video up. There will be more games coming today. I'm going to take a break here, run some errands, and then we'll get into a game later. So stay tuned to the channel once again for that. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.